What's up, podcast? I'm here at Bojack's. I got Bo and Peanut with me.
What up, guys?
We're hanging out. I wanted to get in here and hang out with these guys. They're doing a lot of good around here. We're actually in North Louisiana, Bossier City, Louisiana, and Bojack's Craft House. So these guys have been around for 5 years now doing this thing, and they started out as a food truck. So I wanted to shed a little bit of light on them this week and kind of get their story. A lot of you who are local know their story, but I want to get the roots. So I'm going to start with Peanut. Peanut, you're from South Louisiana. Where are you from?
Yeah, Slidell.
Okay.
Right there on the North Pontchartrain. But what happened throughout my time being down there, learning how to cook and all this kind of deal, after moving to Texas and getting back to Louisiana, just when me and Bo always talked about doing this food truck.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of all kind of a bar dream, you know, when you're sitting at the bar and you're BSing with your friends.
Yeah.
You're like, man, we should start a food truck. Happenstance, I was in between jobs at the end of 2005. Well, when me and you got the ideas for the food truck, the ideas for the food truck, and then I called him one day and I said, dude, I bought a food truck, and he was kind of like, what the hell?
What are you gonna do with that?
Yeah, what are you gonna do with that? I said, man, I'm gonna do that little dream that we had while we were sitting around, and he said, you know, we'll get into the long story later. But yeah, it was that's kind of how we got started. Was I knew how to make good food, culinary trained how to make really good food, and then it was just how to bring it to the public. You know, I think there's a lot of chefs out there that make really good food and don't know how to get it to the public. You know, maybe they're working at a restaurant that already has their own recipe.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. You know, if you go to work at a high-end restaurant, well, they've already got a chef that has their own recipes, and you may be a kick-ass chef, but I mean, if you can't cook your own stuff, then you know you never know how to build on it.
Yeah.
And they always love me cooking and all this kind of stuff. And there's a difference in cooking in your backyard and then actually cooking, you know, for 600-700 people a day.
Well, here's the deal. You don't see a lot of chefs have the startup capital. Chefs don't make a lot of money,
Right.
So they don't have startup capital, or you may have a bunch of money and not have the culinary skills. And so for us, the food truck avenue was a cheap way to introduce people to that cuisine.
Yeah, to the food that which is traditionally gumbo, etouffee, red beans and rice, po' boys.
Right.
Like, you know, the menu for those of y'all that don't know what Louisiana cuisine, I guess, is.
Yeah, you have a lot of listeners and viewers that aren't in Louisiana.
That aren't from here? Yeah,
so, but I know, I feel like the bull crawfish is making its way across the southern United States.
I think it is, man. I was in Oklahoma right before all this happened. We were up there, and there was a crawfish shack on the side of the road, and I said, man, never in my wildest dreams would I have been driving down I-35, coming out of Oklahoma City or whatever, and see the crawfish shack on the side of the road. But there was. I mean, they're like, they're making their way around, man. And so
after Katrina, all the chefs from New Orleans went different directions.
Okay, so that's
that's why it's expanding.
Yeah,
and that's why the price of crawfish locally is going up, and that's just because these crawfish farmers have those connections with those cooks out of New Orleans.
Yeah.
And when they moved across country, they might move to Memphis.
Right.
They figured out real quick they can make more money shipping to those connections that move than
region
doing it here in town. So now they're a crawfish farm in the trucking. If they're willing to do that, then they make money, which just drives the price of crawfish up for everybody.
So how far is your reach? We talking to some people that maybe like from Indiana that don't even know what crawfish is.
Yeah, we have. We have.
Crayfish? Yeah, they call it crayfish?
Yeah, we have listeners and viewers from all the way from New York to California. So to be honest, man, and not just shedding a light. Of course, you guys are doing great local, but kind of I wanted to get the story behind you guys and you know what it is that made this business. Because what I see behind you guys and why I wanted to do this, I'm glad. Thank you again for coming on today. Is that you guys have compassion and empathy for everyone. I feel like everyone that is a customer of yours they feel like they're family when they come in. And then everyone in the community feels like they're family. So, you know, that right now is what, with everything we're going on, that's going on right now, we need that, you know?
I mean, to go that direction a little bit, like, our little company in 5 years has grown organically. You know, having to jump out there on pretty much a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
The business was built on relationships. We've had circumstances where we've had customers jump in the kitchen. We had a little 30-seat bistro, and they'd help us wash the dishes, or they'd come in and say, "Hey, what can we help you out do today?" When you grow a business like that, and those relationships all spread word of mouth. There's not a lot of marketing that goes into it. At least marketing dollars. It's really a handshake business. I think you walk in here, you expect to see an owner. In here.
And that's what builds our business right here.
Of course. I mean, in this market, and I feel like in other markets it's happening that way. 'Cause, you know, as a business, that's what I do is market. But you know, we've thrived on the relationship based, the handshake, the referral based business, not the pushing out to the masses. But I know you guys have always had your hands on the social media. You know what you're doing. You do it right, and I think it's not even about developing crazy graphics or expensive videos. It's just being real and genuine on camera and in your business.
Yeah, and you know, it's when you walk in here and you sit at our bar, you're going to get a conversation, like a long, drawn-out conversation between me or between and so when you Facebook is basically just a tool that lets you continue that conversation when they're not here spending money. But if you just want to talk to your customers just because you like them, the genuine side of that comes out. We really have some really good clients they've all gone out of their way to help us grow our business, whether it's from building a bar to hook us up with some attorney fees. Everybody, any way you look at it, I would say 50% of the people that come in here at some point or the other have contributed to our business.
Well, and when we very first started the food truck, we didn't know where it was going to go. We were like, all right, man, we're just going to go do some festivals. Louisiana's big for festivals. So we're going to go cook at some festivals. We were going to set up, like, we used to do a bass fishing tournament. Get this, every
Thursday night, Lone Star Thursday night. We used to drink Lone Star beer on the food truck.
At the boat launch.
Nice.
But imagine all these bass fishermen. There was probably they had usually 144 bass fish. That would go out and fish every Thursday night.
They had those Thursday, like the 4-hour, 6-hour tournaments on Thursday night.
And then they would come back, and as they loaded their boat, and they wait for the weigh-in, guess who's over there cooking food? We were.
And they were hungry.
And so out of those guys, just imagine how many people that we cook for their families, because they'd be like, oh, y'all don't eat on Thursday night. We got the Bojack's truck over here. I'm bringing food home to you. So imagine the reach that we had just off the 144 fishermen. And then we started doing neighborhoods. So we started cooking in neighborhoods, in apartment complexes. And then you just imagine the reach that just goes that far. We would have people that knew we were going to be in somebody else's subdivision, and they would drive over, because we're close. It's just, and we met more people that way, man. It's just,
from a marketing standpoint that you were talking about, that's probably one of the best things we ever did for our business was utilize homeowners association. The idea was people don't want to go out to eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They don't really want to go home and cook and do dishes. And the one thing that a homeowner association had is they had an email chain. They had an email chain that you would actually look at. You need to know what the homeowner association information is. It's not a dead email. So we're able to reach out and tell these people a month out, 2 weeks out, and a day before that we're coming to their neighborhood with our food truck. And then they see you again when they go in the front gate. So with all that, you spent $0, and you made a connection with people who have disposable income. And that ended up being our regular clientele in a restaurant. We didn't know that at the time, but looking back at how our clientele is structured, we service 28 runners associations. We put them all in rotation, and that's who we see walking our front door.
Exactly. They don't forget that. They don't forget that. The quality of
So,
service.
they're supporting us now at both of our restaurants. You know, I don't even think we mentioned we have another one up right at the street.
Yeah, so now we're in downtown Bossier City, Louisiana, and you have two doors over. You have another restaurant, Frozen P Road.
Right, and it sticks to the Louisiana cuisine, but it's more of your high end. It's like steak and shrimp and oysters.
Right.
And we call it an oyster bar, but it's
Gulf Coast Cajun.
Gulf Coast Cajun. There you go. Whereas this right here is more Acadiana, which is like central South Louisiana, and then you have Gulf Coast. So like you're getting both sides of it, but we're North Louisiana, where we're located, where Shreveport Bossier's located, and so without having to drive down the south, you're getting that touch right here. So it's really cool, man.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I know we're limited time. So what I want to talk about real quick, you're from Slidell, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did you start? You've always been cooking. You've always been a chef.
Here's the deal. I've been a backyard barbecue. Just like the rest of us.
Okay.
You know? Like you brought me a really good pulled pork the other day. That was awesome.
Hey man, I love it.
I was a backyard barbecuer, and that's where my passion still is.
Yeah.
But honestly, you can't make no money cooking in the backyard. You can cook for your friends all day long, but you have to really, I winded the deal of me being in culinary school, and I was in business school as well.
Yeah.
So I was learning the business side and the culinary side, and not saying that anybody needs to go spend $50,000 to go to culinary school. I went to a smaller state school, but I mean it wasn't. I didn't pay any more than I think $1,800 a semester to learn how to cook, the techniques and everything. Yeah. But you also learn is how to feed a lot of people on a good budget. When you're backyard barbecuing, you go to Sam's Club, and you're just like, oh man,
It's all controlling food costs.
Yeah, it is. Labor costs. Which you don't understand until you actually do something like that. And so it was really good for me to have all that knowledge. Yeah. But when I very first started, I'm talking about my very first job out of culinary school, it was not good. We were talking about making $9 an hour, and you have to do that. You can't just go to culinary school thinking, man, I'm going to graduate and I'm going to have this big bad ass job, man. No, I went. Work. Yeah, and you got to put in the work. I put in the work for years.
And we've hired people straight out of culinary school. Yeah. And I think this is an epidemic in our whole country. Is people get out of school.
Epidemic right now.
I said pandemic.
Epidemic. Okay, all right. You're right.
No, but man, like people go to college, they get out of college, and they just expect to make all this money, but they haven't done any of the do pay, man. I mean, how many years do you have as a line cook that people don't see? Right. And how many dishes have you washed in a commercial kitchen? Yeah. I mean, it's a ton, and these are the things you don't learn in culinary school.
It's the burnt hands and the scars on your arms. As far as kitchen guys, we're just a different breed in there.
I agree. I think we talk about this a lot on the show, and it's like I feel like we're moving 50 years back in the fact that work ethic is valued now more than it was 20 years ago. Because before people would push to go to college and then get out of college and get a good job, but if you don't grind, you don't know what the grind's like. You can't survive walking right in the door to somewhere. So we were talking about the food truck. Yeah. And so people see what we have now, and they're like, dude, y'all built this entire block of an entertainment district, and y'all just did it in 5 years. Yeah. Well, that happened in 5 years because we consolidated all of our time. We dedicated every minute of every day to this, and in the first 8 months of our business, I mean, we ran the food truck 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It was me and our one employee would do the night shift. Peanut and his brother would do the day shift, and the food truck never came back. So for 8 months, if you didn't know who we were, it was only because we didn't drive
to you.
Right.
We tried to go everywhere, and we made very little money doing that. Very, very little money.
Yep.
Like almost couldn't survive money. But through all that, we're building a brand and we're
Yeah.
building a name. And now people see what we have and they forget that. They forget that hey man, we did things that you're probably not willing to do.
Yeah.
And that was us, man. We were willing to go so broke. Like
Yeah.
we would write a hot check on Friday to our food distributor, Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Every Friday.
Every Friday we would write a hot check, and then we would know we knew we were gonna
Make it that weekend.
No, you,
But,
didn't
I
have
mean,
you didn't have a choice.
You didn't have a choice.
You had to have food.
Yeah, and you had to have food to sell, but we
And
knew
then you
that
had
we-
to go sell it.
And then you had to go sell it. And we may get rained out, man. We may think, man, there's this big event we're going to,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it gets rained out. What are you going to do, man?
You got
You're
all that
sitting-
food.
You got all that food,
So
so
our-
you're sitting on it. I mean, what else? You got to
Cook
find a
it.
way to sell it.
Our food truck was a 1959 Coke tray, and it's
Yeah.
solid steel. So
Yeah.
it's a big metal can.
Yeah.
Hey, Reggie.
And if it
Do me a
rained
favor.
or it was a thunderstorm, every other food truck would go home. We would go. We would
Right
go
here.
stand
There we go.
in the food truck in a lightning storm,
Yeah.
serving food at Calumet or
Yeah.
wherever we were for the day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People remember that.
We got pretty close to being struck by lightning
but
once.
hey, they
Yeah.
remember that though. I bet you're the
Yeah.
only food truck out there doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, nobody else, everybody else is gone.
And there's things you miss when you don't go do those things. Like we built an entire catering company that way. Like
Yeah.
those.
Got some fresh ones out the pot. What's the verdict?
I gotta taste.
Yeah, we got watch him taste the crawfish,
Fresh
y'all.
crawfish.
Quality control.
There you go.
Y'all saw it here, right here. Crawfish test. Taste it.
But that leads us back to the food that we serve. Look, man, every morning that we make our red beans that comes out, man, I'm trying it. Bo's trying it.
Yeah.
We just happen to be like serving crawfish right now at 4:30. So what's the guys do in the back? They come let Bo try the first crawfish.
Yeah.
Because you want that quality control. Because there's certain amount of attention that doesn't get paid in restaurants these days. And I hate it. And I hate it for the restaurants that don't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Because
There's some really cool concepts out there that have started as local businesses that start off so well.
Yeah.
Like they do really well, and then the owners disappear.
owners just beer falls
that's
off.
it.
It turns from a passion to a business, and it loses the value and the integrity.
Yeah.
Well, so in any for anyone that's watching or listening that may be in the restaurant industry, what advice do you guys have for them right now with everything we're going through? Because I know a lot of people, you had to make a hard pivot to do all to go,
All right,
all takeout.
so for us, not as hard because we just kind of reverted back to what we've always.
You already had the food truck, yeah.
We went from food truck to catering company to full-blown restaurant,
Yeah.
and then they said, okay, well now you can only deliver and do curbside, so we just transitioned back into a catering company. A lot of people don't have that. They don't have that ability.
Well, by us owning two restaurants, though, we knew that we had a really good product that could be delivered on one end of the
Right.
block, and the other end of the block, man, we just had to close it down.
Right.
And we'll reopen
Yeah.
when this thing ends.
So-
But I mean, we knew that there was a time that says, all right, man, we have deliverable food and we don't have deliverable food, and so it's for somebody that's in the restaurant business, recognize what you have. If
Maybe
it's-
limit your menu.
Limit your menu, something like that.
Yeah.
Focus on what you have.
So also we had a conversation today about this. Now is the time to make yourself more relevant.
Yeah.
All right, so the world got really quiet. There's a captured audience at home, and so if you can't be the one that says, "Hey, I'm gonna pack it up. I'm losing money. I'm bleeding a little money, and I'm gonna go home." Just shut the doors because you can't increase your relevancy.
Right.
So we've watched every day 10 or 15 restaurants close shop until the end of all of this.
Yes.
Well, that's great because that just means I got more customers.
Yeah.
And they're going to come here. We're going to treat them right.
Right.
And those are going to be our customers.
Right.
And so if you pack it up too early and you get scared early, then you're doing some long-term damage to your business. If you're bleeding a little to stay open, you're making a marketing investment.
I like what you said there but here's the thing: if that person doesn't have that grind, say it's someone who developed a local restaurant that had 10 investors and really didn't do all the work, the hard work, the bleeding, the dirt, the grind, being rolled around in the ditch. You guys have done that, so you know that it's going to hurt a little bit, but you're going to make it work so you can survive in the long run.
So when we were on the food truck,
and
we would go set up, and it was a lightning storm. Like we might have 6 customers come all day. And that was 6 customers that we could have a conversation with. And out of those 6 customers, one of them would become a $2,000, $3,000 caterer, which created a whole catering business. And it's about, all right, so Winston Churchill said the key to success is moving from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. And that's exactly what we do. Like, it's a bust today, but if we stay encouraged, we stay enthusiastic, man, something good's gonna come out of it. Like, you're out here grinding for a reason, something comes from it.
Of course.
It's the day that we went to the Coinstar. We had a Coinstar moment in our life.
I have been there, bro. I have been there. I've been there numerous times in my life.
We've had a Coinstar moment in our life that basically says...
It was the only time we were going to quit.
And for those of you who don't know what Coinstar is, those of you in the affluent market or ones that have not had been in this situation, it's basically a machine at a grocery store where you can dump your coins in and get cash real quick. And you have to pay about 9 cents on the dollar too.
They keep theirs. But as far as our Coinstar moment, it came when we were just we had a really bad week. We got beat up on the weekend. We just didn't have much going.
Taxes were piling up. We had
taxes. We had to pay the tax man. And we just said, all right, let's go all in, and this is it. We had groceries.
We had $200 worth of groceries left on a food truck. We were negative $22 in our bank account.
So we couldn't even write a hot check.
We didn't have a bank to go make change with. So we were like, look, man, I think this was on Friday. It was like, hey, Monday, let's just go apply for another job. Let's pack it up. We're done. Business over. And I think you went home.
I got all my money out of my Tahoe, man. I was like my old school '95 Tahoe. Nothing fancy. I'm like scraping through. I was finding quarters from 2010, man. Like I was just like, oh yeah.
I got all the change out of my couch. We went to Coinstar. We got $33 to make change with. So his brother pulled up next to the food truck, and there was a bank behind us, and there was a grocery store.
Chase Bank and a Brookshire's.
So we would
Chase Bank and Brookshire's, and
we would sell something, and his
shots
brother,
on the 30.
Oh man!
Let's do it.
All right, cheers.
So
there's the poor choices right there.
So they would go, or every time we would sell something, your brother Scotty would go either to the bank or he would run to the grocery store real quick. And he would buy 3 of what we just sold. And we stocked the truck back up through lunch, and then we had a setup that called us during lunch that we didn't even have scheduled and said, hey, can you come over here and feed our people? We said, yeah, well, for sure. So we took those groceries over there. We made $2,800 that night. We paid our taxes on it. We kept moving business back on.
Business back on. But it comes down to that breaking point.
And that might be the moment right now for a lot of people.
I guarantee you it is.
They're
feeling the stimulus
like,
check that may be coming out.
Yeah, but the stimulus check isn't going to get you back where you need to be. That's just going to help you for a couple days.
$1,200 is not going to.
Not a lot these days.
if you want my opinion, the economy's coming roaring back. So you've got, at least in the restaurant business, I know it is. So tax season normally is a really big season for the restaurant business. So now you got stimulus. Then you've got unemployment that is catching some people up, making more money than they were making.
You're right.
And then right behind it, you have taxes coming. And then you have all of these programs in place to help a lot of business. So I think with Prime, that as soon as this thing lifts, then it's going to come roaring back. And I think now's the time you want to be buying, you want to be signing contracts and doing whatever you can. The dollar may be flipped.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and I've been telling a lot of people this in my industry and anyone in my network, right now is the best time to create a relationship with your audience. You have a captive audience right now. You guys who are viewing, you guys who are listening later, but whoever, if you have a business or you're a business professional or you're laid off and you're looking to be in another industry, create the relationship now. That way people respect you later and remember that.
So
if you just take a knee right now and sit back, people will know.
It can be anything. So this week somebody stole a neon sign off the back of our patio at the other restaurant.
Yeah.
Frozen Pizza.
Yeah.
And so just real quickly, we made just a little contest, a $100 gift card. Help us find this guy, and the community latched onto it. And we posted a picture of the guy, a little hillbilly-ish, but everybody started making comments on what the dude looked like and how he was and where he lived. I mean, 10 minutes in, we already knew who the guy was. We knew his license plate number. We knew all of that stuff. But on the backside of this, we looked at what that one post did. I mean, it was 45,000.
That's
people.
insane. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, we have a lot of viewers that just like, I mean,
well, you guys have a good audience, but you've been building it for a long time. And these are people that care. They're gonna, there's a lot of followers and a lot of friends on people's social media that may not be their real followers. Well,
no, it's 100%.
You guys have built those organically and you earned those. Well, now tell me this, because I know you guys are doing a lot for the community, a lot locally and a lot abroad with armed forces as well. So let's talk about what you're doing with the healthcare workers and the hospitals around here and
hospitals.
Yeah.
We start with armed forces.
Armed forces? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if obviously the armed forces is a big thing with us because we have Barksdale Air Force Base here in town, which is I think maybe the second largest Air Force base in the nation. Is that right? I mean, so
we're number 3 on the target list.
For the people that are there looking. But no, I mean, it is we've always been really close with them, and there is a lot of good Air Force community in this town, but also we have Army National Guard that's I think they have 200 and let's call it 230, 250 that could be deployed at any time.
Yeah.
Or deployed, I'm sorry. Active.
On one side of the river, they've got an armory. The other side of the river, they have like a transportation.
Yeah, transportation side. Okay. And so, currently, we have several that are active in the area.
Yeah.
I want to when John Bell Edwards, our governor, said he was gonna activate like 1,200. That's 1,200 for the state. We've got upwards of 50 plus in the area.
Yeah.
So with that 50 plus, we decided, man, we'll do something for them. So we're doing lunch and dinner for them 7 days a week.
Okay.
And that is it's something really cool that we can do. That helps out,
and it builds and this is the selfish side of that. It builds business in the future.
Of course,
each one of those people are people that we don't see come to the restaurant.
But here's the thing,
and I get to go meet these guys.
Yeah.
These guys are from guys and girls. There's girls. They're from Alexandria, Louisiana. They're from like Natchitoches. They're from like Calhoun, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like they're from all over. Like they're Louisiana people that are just. I mean, they have to come because the governor told them, this is going to be your spot. But they're doing really good stuff in the area because they're setting up clinics to do free testing for the COVID-19. So they have sites, and so they're actually doing they're doing the work of, instead of you having to go to the hospital, you get to go to these spots and
you get to pull into like a Walmart.
Yeah, it makes it safe. It makes a safe environment for those who possibly feel like they may be infected.
Yeah.
They can pull up, get tested, and not have to try to possibly get.
Because if you're not infected, you don't want to go to the hospital because the hospital
it works both ways.
Yeah, and so
it's us.
what they do is it is, and they're swabbing the nose. and then you're able to literally get your test results back real quick. I think within 48 hours.
Yeah.
But it is.
So you guys are feeding them every day?
Yeah, we feed them every day. We feed them lunch, and then we actually.
He's feeding them.
I know he's feeding them. I know he's feeding them.
Hey, our guy.
It's not like what you.
It's not. It's off the menu.
It's not.
Special order.
It's not a school.
Is it?
It's
Okay.
a real deal.
No, they're not getting MREs. You know, they're like, I think today we actually sent out for lunch. Then we sent out chicken and sausage gumbo.
Okay.
Which I mean, you know, these Louisiana people,
Yeah.
so they love
Yeah.
you know, they love that. And then this evening we actually did like some barbecue plates. So I mean they're eating good food.
They're getting a good diversity.
So, but I mean that's a really cool thing that we have going with the National Guard.
Yeah.
It's not bringing in a ton of money for us, but it's bringing in a lot of relationships because I get to meet every single person.
Exactly.
With
The
the National Guard.
one that is designed both to help our employees. So we laid off 84 people.
How many employees did you have?
There's
Between two restaurants?
We were just under 100, so we've got 84 that are furloughed.
It's a big cut.
But we've come up with some ways to make that money, whether it be them making money doing deliveries.
Yeah.
But the big thing that really kind of got some of those people reemployed, we did what we call hospital packs. We started a fundraiser, and it was called Feed the Frontline. And so the idea was we're going to feed every hospital wing in Shreveport Bossier.
Right.
And this is a big medical town, so there's a lot of different hospitals here.
But it's not just hospitals, though. We do.
Well, it grew. It
Yeah.
grew into fire departments and police departments because it did so well. We needed more people to feed.
Yeah.
So we did a Jerry Lewis style telethon on Facebook.
Nice.
But and a lot of people may not know who Jerry Lewis is. We can say Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest style. Yeah.
Brian Seacrest style.
But we went live on Facebook for like 2 hours, and in that 2 hours, I think we raised a little over $5,000 to feed these frontline responders.
Yeah.
And what we were doing is we were taking a $250 value package.
Okay.
And so it was like a po' boy platter, a half pan of gumbo, a half pan of our loaded crawfish jack mac and cheese, a king cake from Tubbs Hardware, and a 12-pack of Coke from Coke United. And so all that together, if we rang it in every day, it was $250. Well, we took $100 off of it right off the top. And we said, if you make a $150 donation, we're gonna raffle style draw one of these wings. And so it grew from a raffle to people were calling in and dedicating it to different hospital wings. What's the total today? It's getting close to $17,000.
That's insane. And
Hey, Brent,
it's been like what, a week and a half.
What's our total up there?
I think that happened that big.
Actually, hold on. I gotta add 2 more things.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, I mean it's raised a lot of money, and that money does 2 things. It helps a local business.
Before we go into that,
Yeah.
can you tell everyone that's watching how they can donate if they'd like to donate to the police, the fire department, or the medical staff?
Okay, so
in the
2
area?
things, and I think what I'll do is I'll go back and add it in the comments or get one of these girls to do it.
Yeah.
And we have a GoFundMe link that's attached to Bojack's Craft House Facebook page.
Right.
It's pinned at the top, and then I'll drop that link in the
cool.
comments here
All
in a
right.
little bit. That's the easiest way to do it from all over. But if you're local or you want to donate over the phone, people call that in. It's 318-584-7169.
Yeah.
Basically, what we do, we take Brittany that works with us. She busts out a schedule. We may feed 8 or 9 wings a day.
Yeah.
And so it
Right now we're
stretches
feeding.
the feeding all the way through this shutdown.
Okay.
So at some point, we're loving on every single nurse and doctor and firefighter and police officer. And I think we just jumped on that really early because now you see a lot of people trying to do it now.
I've seen other people doing it. I had a client we helped at the beginning of the week do it for the custodial staff of a hospital because those people may be in the shadows a little bit.
Yeah, we've been feeding them too.
Well, that's awesome. See, that's good to hear because like there's at this point in time, it's great to see everyone come together.
Yeah.
And I feel like now more than ever, we're actually experiencing real humanity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Like, gratitude, empathy. I mean, it's all right here.
Think back to like 9/11.
Yeah.
And like how close everybody
Yep.
was. And then over the years, and
separates.
especially this last year,
Yep.
there was a lot of divide in the
Yep.
country. And now you see, I now the new divide is essential, non-essential.
Yeah,
That's-
it really is. But hey, I mean, in my opinion, everyone is essential, yes. But everyone's been able to, I think, sit back and really focus on what's important.
Yeah.
You know, look at the real things and say, okay, do I need this? Do I need that? Do I really need to get out and put anyone at risk? Do I need to get out and put or possibly be at risk? You know, what's more important right now? Is, you know, do I need to? You know, we also have people that are delivering. You guys delivering food too?
We do.
Okay.
So we deliver food. I think we were the first restaurant in Louisiana to apply for the ability to deliver beer. So we deliver
Yes.
beer and wine. We actually got the first application for that.
And you can have drinks to go as well.
So
here,
we
right?
do we do manufacturing packaged beer and wine. So basically,
Okay.
it's got to be in a labeled
Okay.
manufactured
Gotcha.
wine. It's added a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's pretty cool to know like that we can send beer to your front door.
I mean,
Like that's weird.
I mean,
times.
you never would have thought you'd be able to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough trying to buy beer at a gas station or whatever
Well, for-
10 years ago.
For the people that aren't from here, the
Yeah.
crawfish and beer go like hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, you almost can't eat crawfish without having a beer.
or crayfish.
Can we get
Crayfish.
can we get a small pot of crawfish?
Yeah,
right
I know.
here?
Hey,
We got some of it.
hey, Brian.
I'd love for people to be able
Brian,
to see
bring us
that.
a little bucket of crawfish. We're going.
Because to be honest with you guys, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not.
We have Brittany post the link for
Yeah,
the GoFundMe.
I'm not a big crawfish guy, man. I don't eat a lot of crawfish.
Yeah.
Only because I eat a lot of food, and I feel like crawfish is just one of those things you drink it while you're socializing.
It is. Yeah.
But I've never tried your crawfish. I really want to. So.
But we had that was actually this is actually a funny quick story.
Yeah.
That last night somebody took a picture of me. They had posted it on the internet.
Yeah.
Of me stirring a crawfish pot.
Yeah.
And then like 93 comments come right after that. Oh, y'all are having a crawfish bowl, you know, during this time. Hey, it was not a crawfish bowl, y'all. Like it was, I was just cooking for a couple
here's the thing,
friends
like-
that we were like, they were like,
Yeah.
oh, y'all are disobeying the.
So we
I
do.
was like,
we do have to come to work every
we-
day.
Right.
Yeah, we are.
We do have to.
You
be
are
here.
around each other.
And so
Yeah.
we're already around each other.
It was a family.
It's
It was a
just-
family
it was a
crawfish
different-
bowl.
It was a different environment
Right.
with the same people that are around each other
Right.
all day. every
Right.
day.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's
Just happened to
you
be
guys
in
all
a,
work
I just
together.
happened to be in a garage.
Yeah.
But whenever they saw that, man, it just like with all of our followers,
All right,
man,
man, I gotta try one of these things.
it blew up. It blew up.
Let's see here. And he was telling me y'all got a. So what's your secret behind it? What makes your crawfish different than everyone else?
All right. Yeah, I'll drop it all in there. So
Y'all see that?
there's-
Y'all see them crawfish right there, boys? You got a big old jug right there.
There's a science to cooking these things. So what people in North Louisiana are notorious for is just boiling crawfish
And putting seasoning.
sprinkling seasoning on
Right.
top of it.
Oh, man, no,
That is not how you cook
that
crawfish.
is flavor right there. That's
So-
good stuff.
So for us to do them correctly and consistently, I would
Yeah.
say we have the most consistent crawfish anywhere. And it's because we use it's a double boiling pot system.
Okay.
So if you can imagine 2 pots where most people cook crawfish in
Yeah.
one pot and then
Them are good, yeah.
they'll boil them up. They'll change the temperature by icing them.
Okay. Yeah.
Once you add ice,
They call it a purge, right?
Well, it changes your recipe.
Okay.
So to keep it the same, you have a soak pot that you know how much a sack of crawfish is soaking up, so you can reconstitute that.
Yeah.
And the recipe be the same every time. So you're cooking in a fresh boil pot. It's just fresh water.
Yeah.
You're cooking them exactly how you want them. And so they're coming out at like 255 degrees, and you're moving them over to a soak pot that might be at 140 degrees. And the difference in temperature, it works like a hot complex, but backwards. So it draws, the difference in temperature is what draws the seasoning in.
Yeah.
So if you cook these correctly, there's a membrane between the shell and the crawfish meat here. You want to cook the crawfish just enough that it has a little bit of atrophy,
Yeah.
and it breaks it apart from the shell, breaks that membrane, and in the back right there, there's a little gap that's created.
Okay.
And that's where your seasoning gets in. And so it's the difference in temperature that draws the seasoning in there.
Can you show that gap to the camera?
Well, I'm telling you
You know
what.
that guy's
I'm telling you what. I'm telling you what.
Hey, mine
I'm
is
gonna put it
down
right
right
there.
here.
You see that right there?
Yeah, but I mean,
On the back side of the tail, that's where you at. And then when you twist it, you push it up.
and
Suck
then,
it out.
and then the other part
Gotta
of
go
that
right now.
is we would have to kill you to tell you.
Yeah.
We actually have our own crawfish blend made.
Okay.
Where a lot of people they'll use like Zatarain's or
Yeah.
Louisiana Dry.
Yeah, just kind of generic name
we
brand
went
stuff.
down and used a company just outside of New Orleans.
Yeah, deep South blenders.
Yeah.
Deep
And-
South blenders in New
and
Orleans.
we got to play in their kitchen. We got to play with a bunch of spices, and we got to develop exactly what we wanted for crawfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's different in terms of heat. Like if we were cooking these at our house, I think we would
Yeah.
make them hotter.
Yeah.
We have a lot of clients that come in from Dallas. They
You
come
gotta
from
think, yeah.
Oklahoma.
There's a lot of people that aren't from here that don't acclimate to spice well, and to be honest, that's a great flavorful
Yeah.
crawfish. But no, it wasn't spicy.
It's not spicy.
No, which is good.
Like
flavor.
it's got enough heat that it builds.
Yeah.
But I can't blow out. I mean, 40% of our customer base is from out of town. They're
Yeah.
from out of state.
Yeah.
And they're not accustomed to that. So finding that balance between local and tourism traffic, the only way we could do it is go make our own season.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So when you say that you have a lot of people that follow us from out
Yeah.
of state.
Yeah.
So there's we have the casinos in town, right?
Yeah.
So anybody that goes to eat like casino crawfish, that might be what they're used to.
Right. They come to Louisiana thinking that at the casino they're getting crawfish.
They're getting
but-
crawfish.
Right.
No.
You got a
listen,
different spin on it here.
This ain't it.
Right.
You know, we're actually we're cooking it the way it's supposed to be, the way you would get it south of I-10 down there.
So and then on top of just cooking crawfish as long as we have,
Yeah.
like we've also done research behind it too. Like the Louisiana Agriculture Department
Yeah.
put out like a big study having to do with purging crawfish.
Right.
And so purging crawfish, lots of myths out there
Okay.
on what purged crawfish is.
Yeah, so I've heard that term a lot.
So the only way to really purge crawfish, like, I'm on the back.
Look at them claws, Bob.
So we open that up.
Look at them claws. Y'all see that?
So you have what's called
Waving at you. Waving at
Yeah.
you.
hind guts, which you want to find in the tail.
Okay.
I don't know the politically correct way to say this, but you basically want the crawfish to evacuate whatever it's going to evacuate before you serve it.
Hey man, this is a explicit. You can say whatever you need
Okay.
to on here.
Well-
Crawfish pretty much shits everything out.
That's it.
Yeah.
So basically, you're trying to get that to happen
Yeah.
before you cook it.
Yeah.
The only way you can really purge it is you run the crawfish through distilled water for 24 hours. That's moving distilled water 24 hours. So it requires a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
It's a big setup.
Okay.
Like it's multi-millions.
Ain't
in
no,
equipment.
nobody doing it.
So nobody does it. So they may say they do it, but what they're probably doing
Yeah.
is they're salting the water that goes in.
Well, see, I've seen that, and then
Yeah.
some boys from South my team said, "Don't put no salt in that water.
So-
Just let them soak."
Yeah,
You
no,
better-
so,
you better
so
soak
that's
it
the
up.
thing. Hindgut, and this is coming from LSU Agriculture.
Yeah.
They did a big study on it that tells you that you get 0% reduction of hindgut off of salting the water that you're rinsing them in.
Right.
But you kill 10% more. So all you're doing is killing crawfish.
Right.
That's it. So you don't do that. So what we do
Suffocate.
is we rinse them. You get as much mud, you get as much debris off and out of them as you can.
Yeah.
And then by having a clear water pot that doesn't have any spice in it, I'm bringing it up to a rolling boil, and I'm taking live crawfish and they're hitting, and you're shocking their system.
Gotcha.
And they expel more that way.
Okay.
And now that clear water is now not clear water because they evacuated.
Exactly.
So we drain.
That's how we drain it.
Yeah.
But we're not losing any spice, we're not losing
Right.
any money, so we do a couple things. We control consistency, we're saving our product.
Yeah.
And cleaning them better than I think most companies can.
That's why we got the voted the best crawfish in Northwest
Yeah,
Louisiana.
I mean,
That's an achievement.
Yeah.
A lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that don't know anything about it. But here's another thing. you have to cook a crawfish live, correct?
Yes.
You have to throw it in a boiling pot live.
Just like a lobster.
Yeah.
You have to.
Otherwise, you'll get straight tails.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta be
so,
careful.
so when you're eating crawfish, there's a lot of different ways you can get a straight tail, but a straight tail could indicate that the crawfish is dead. So you want every crawfish that you cook. So when it hits the boiling water, their tail's going to curl. And so they're going to look like this. Get you a platter of crawfish and they look like this.
Something wrong.
Don't eat it. Send them back.
Send them back.
Well, that being said, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that may not know about that, this actual dish or anything about it. But now, going back to community and everything and restaurant and whatever, I want to talk a little bit about the hardships we're all going through right now. Is there any bit, and anyone who's watching on Facebook Live, we got 20 viewers right now. This may be there's a lag in this, but if you got any questions for these guys or me, or you just want to talk shit, please post in the comments.
Yeah, throw it on there.
But anything that you got to give anyone some positivity or reflection to business owners, maybe not even in the restaurant industry, but of course keeping that in mind as well. What do you have? What kind of information you guys got for them?
Man,
You've seen a lot right now. You've been dealing with you guys have been in the dirt this whole time.
The last 3 weeks have been rough.
Yeah.
It's been rough. But because it's ever changing.
Yep.
You lean on something that is like, okay, we're gonna be open back up by this
2
time.
months ago, you guys were slam packed, wait every night.
The day before the shutdown was our busiest day.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It was St. Patty's Day
We
weekend.
did a St. Patty's Day party, and it was just out of control busy. Man, this is what I would say to that.
Yeah.
I think right now is a time where a lot of people want to give up or sit down or kind of just let it all play out, relax. You can't.
No.
So here's the deal: if you're a business owner, when you opened a business, you had all this excitement and you didn't have any customers.
Yeah.
But you made that first customer.
Yeah.
And so the same excitement that you put into that very first customer is what you should be putting into a customer now.
Yeah.
Right.
And over time, there's a lot of things that happen in everybody's business. Just being a business, it's a bunch of ups and downs.
It's a roller coaster.
And over time, you start to forget about what you set out to do the very first day.
Yeah.
So if anything, you could say that this is a reset right back to when you first started.
Yeah.
Except for this time, you got a little money in the bank, hopefully.
Yeah.
And so you restarted, and this was the prep work. This little period right now is just like the prep work you did before you went and made your first customer.
Yeah.
If you can get that excitement level right now, when everybody else is sitting down, you're making yourself relevant. You're making a connection with somebody. You have a captured audience to do it.
Yep.
There's not a lot of buzz that you're not having to shout over everybody to get some attention towards your business because nobody's making any noise. They're sitting at home.
They're just waiting to see what plays out.
Like they're just looking at their phone or Netflix, and they got nothing else to do.
I think the most diligent players right now are going to be the ones that are relevant in 3 months.
I think so.
Because I feel like even though we're going through this and maybe in 2 weeks, like they're talking about, this all opens back up, we're still looking at a 3 or 4 month lag where Americans are going to be a bit scared to go out and do things. Maybe, book vacations, go out and spend money, be around people, be in large crowds. We're notorious for that.
We're planning our next 2 moves. I mean,
that's what
we're
you got
ready
to
to
know.
open
I was
some
I was hoping that you were gonna give some insight on what people may can do and plan for. Even though the doors may open, you may have a quick rush, but it may be a lag for the people that maybe still be out in the public.
So right now is a good time to get in touch with your banker.
Yep.
Interest rates are as low as they can get.
If you ever wanted a vehicle and think that you can still afford a vehicle, talk to your guys over at your car lots because man, they're talking about 84 months, 0%.
We've never seen that
with no payment for like 120 days.
Wow.
I hadn't jumped on it yet, but every morning I wake up,
and
I keep scrolling, man. I scroll, I'm like, do I want it? I don't need it.
I think about repairs and maintenance too. So we've got all these buildings right now, And they're old buildings. And we're sitting in a 106-year-old building that we remodeled. Now, you put all this traffic in it day in, day out, and there's never any time for an empty space for us to do any projects on our building. Now's the time to do all those. Like
Exactly.
we're repainting the floor in the kitchen at the Frozen
Okay.
Bee Road. Man, we wouldn't be able to do that if we were open,
Yeah.
but it needs it, and it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Now's the time to catch up on some of those projects, not go
Yes.
home.
Kind of, yeah, kind of a
Hey, where's Gino at? I wanted to get him on real quick.
kind of it's kind of a DIY. What is that? Do it yourself, whatever. It's like because these restaurants that we have, if you've been needing to maybe put a little exterior paint on there.
I mean, you got all these people
right now.
they're doing their home projects too. Like Home Depot is full. Home Depot is essential right now. It is full. People are doing projects.
I would say he doesn't even know it, but he's creating different menu items.
Okay.
Now,
With
when
the
you get
special
to-
menu?
I mean, you're getting to play in the kitchen, so like.
Yeah.
Well, it is. I think here's just on that little side note. Me getting to feed the National Guard brought me back to when I was working at the Petroleum Club, which is a private club downtown where I got to create new menus every single day. I got to wake up and go to work and be like, it wasn't like it was a set menu.
Right.
People didn't even know what they were going to get, and I would they would have to call down there. It was kind of one of those things. What y'all special of the day?
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool.
Well,
I'm serving a lot of things that obviously we don't serve here because we're traditionally Cajun, Louisiana, South Louisiana food.
Yeah.
But it is kind of neat to get back in the kitchen and whip some things out like this. As simple as barbecue.
Yeah.
I'm not a barbecue place,
Exactly.
but today I served the National Guard pulled pork because you had one really good for me the other day. So I was like,
Hey, man, we're amateur hour over here.
I know, but I said let me see if I could beat his.
Okay.
And
Oh,
didn't.
man, I gotta
No,
try, dude.
No, I didn't. I didn't beat you. I didn't beat you.
16
Hey,
hours.
but my smoked turkeys though, they came out good.
Okay.
But no, it's little things like that that gets me back into like my backyard roots.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel
You
good.
saying that, I want to, real quick, 5 ingredients, everyone that's watching, everyone that's listening, at home, 5 random ingredients or less.
Yeah.
What can they make that's good?
I'm telling you what, if you got 5 ingredients at
Or
your
less.
at your house.
You got one? You
I
got,
know,
hey,
I
Bo,
know,
go ahead,
I know
throw
this
these.
story.
These
are
Let's
not-
go segue into a story. Let's
These
do
are
it.
these are not the 5 ingredients, but 15 years ago when Peanut and I first met, I lived in a little apartment.
I'll
we
give
would
you-
go
I'll
out.
give you one.
We would go out. We would go out drinking.
Yeah.
And this is back when you're still on that college budget, and I probably only had 5 ingredients in my refrigerator. And us and a bunch of friends came over to my apartment. Everybody is hungry. After the bar, hungry. Like, we gotta eat something. And I was like, don't worry, I'll go in here and whip us something up. He opens the refrigerator and it's nothing. There's almost
Man, this
nothing in
man-
there.
Shots on the 30.
Oh, man.
This
Shots
dude,
on the 30.
All right.
Woo, that's,
so this dude goes in there and he gets a can of biscuits
That would know better.
out of the freezer, I think.
Yeah. That was a can of biscuits in the fridge.
There might have been some hamburger meat. Anyway, he made us some sliders.
yeah.
And
I'm listening. I'm going to plug this computer in. I'm still listening. Let's do
so
it.
I had this, I had bought this new little tool that like scrapes the side of your foot.
Yeah. Yeah. It came out of a
And
brand new pack.
We're hammered. Came out of the package though. But I walk in the kitchen and Peanut's got my toe scraper.
Oh,
And he's got an orange and he's orange zesting this meat.
What?
Like,
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Because they had like a orange, and they had like some hamburger meat, and like a can of biscuits.
So
and,
we had an idea forever. We
yeah,
wanted
like a
we
thing of
wanted to call
mustard,
it Into Food Network, and we wanted Peanut to go travel the country and go to
Yes.
fraternity houses around America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pop in and do a cooking demonstration
Yeah.
off of what they had in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it. Like now you got to do 5 ingredients.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, this is back to the original.
This is back to the original. All right. So a lot of people like Velveeta in cheese, right?
Okay.
But if you have cream cheese at your house, okay, cream cheese is way better than Velveeta. Velveeta is almost like plastic. I think it's like one ingredient off from plastic. Like if you actually do like your research on what Velveeta cheese is,
Yeah.
like you can. It's like it should be in your survival storage kit because you can
Right next to Spain.
That means
Yeah.
y'all need to quit making that damn Rotel dip at holiday
Yeah,
functions.
right. No, that'll be the. Hey, and I love it. I'm a fat boy. I love that cheese, but it's really not real food. But if you want to take a block of cream cheese,
Yeah.
and then if you want to take a can of Rotel,
Okay.
yeah, you take that can of Rotel, and then you can take pasta. We actually make ours with noodles, like our macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
We make it with like the shell noodles.
Right.
Because, everybody knows if you use the elbow noodles, the elbow noodles don't get all the cheese inside of them,
Right.
right? So you got to use you got to use the shell noodles,
Yeah.
okay? So you got shell noodles, you got cream cheese, you got Rotel, and then you have just a little bit of half and half heavy cream, something when you're melting the cheese down, and it's gonna make you just a cheese pasta that you'll never go back. I mean,
So that's it. 4
You
ingredients.
got
4 ingredients.
And then you can add meat to
and
it.
you
What
have
meat
a-
you can add meat.
What else you got?
We had crawfish to
Right,
ours.
right.
But I mean, we don't.
He's giving you almost the recipe
Oh,
for our
oh.
pepper jack.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but ours doesn't have the Rotel because we use fresh. Ours is more like fresh ingredients.
So that dish won an award, or you were featured on TV. What was that about?
So we went on to Burgers, Brews, and Q with Mike Simon.
With Mike Simon, yeah,
Okay.
Mike Simon of.
How did you get that? You got that call. How did that happen?
We're
How did
series.
that happen?
We're series.
We got an email. We got an email first.
Episode 6.
Season 6.
So you don't know.
Season 6, episode 6.
You don't know who plugged you.
Somebody plugged us.
But you don't know who.
We don't know. Who.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
they
they-
sent us an email. We're like, oh, that's fake. And then we got the phone call behind it, and I was like, no bullshit. But yeah, we.
So
we
y'all wanna go look at that? I've ever seen it at their house, man. Y'all go. It's look us up. You'll see my dumb ass.
Well, yeah,
Cooking,
we agreed to it. Like it's hard doing the TV stuff because they spin it for TV.
Right, yeah.
But we very much don't want to spin our story.
Right.
And our story is so genuine.
It is.
Like,
You can't spin that. You can't
and
spin
I,
it.
I don't. He and I both had a problem with kind of they spun on it, but it was really good exposure for our crawfish pepper jack mac and cheese. The fact that we do whole alligators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a good little plug, and it's nice to say, hey, you were on network TV,
Yeah.
doing what you love. Right.
Well, I mean, it really is that to be said from starting from a food truck and creating a local business, and then a small town. I mean, we're not a massive. Okay, we're not a small town. Yeah, we're a decent sized town, and then being able to feature nationwide or worldwide. Honestly, at this point, I mean, that's you guys are doing something right.
Man, I don't know how it came about.
We fall into a lot of dumb stuff.
Hey,
Yeah.
Like but I think we were cooking blue crab on Food Network
Yep.
at the Texas Crab
At the
Festival.
Texas Crab Festival.
A couple
Yeah.
years before.
That was in
Yeah.
that was 2000. I'm sorry, that was 2000. Maybe 17.
Yeah, something like that.
We were down at the Texas Crab Festival, and
There's a show that's called 10 Festivals You've Never Heard of.
you've never heard of
And
it.
they had it on Food Network, and they get up on our crawfish trailer, and we're cooking blue crab. Which
Oh,
we,
yeah.
like, honest to God, is the first time we ever cooked blue crab on the crawfish trailer.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just acted like we knew what we were doing.
yeah.
Imagine,
Make it, you make it.
It's TV,
Hey
man.
man,
imagine cooking, and for everybody that's not from Louisiana, blue crabs are like this big, right?
Yeah.
So they're freaking huge. With
fast.
the oh yeah,
Super fast.
well, and
they
we
move like quicker than crawfish.
Yeah.
and man, we sat there and we cooked
5,000 pounds.
5,000
That's a lot
pounds
of-
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
crab.
we were,
Yeah.
we
How
were
much is
having-
one crab?
One doesn't
2-3
one
pounds?
doesn't even weigh a pound.
No, the blues are a little smaller.
Yeah, the blues are like that,
Yeah.
but they don't even.
We were just outside of Galveston at Crystal Beach.
Yeah.
And we were driving to Port Arthur.
Yeah.
And
Port Arthur?
about every 45 minutes, somebody's headed to Port
Somebody
Arthur.
headed to Port Arthur to
We
get
take
some more
them straight
crab?
off the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Take them to this festival.
You know that was good.
And
No,
roll
it's-
them through the crawfish trail.
Did you
and
run
then
it?
roll to the food truck.
Did you cook them like crawfish? Like
Well, you have,
seasoning
well,
wise?
yeah, we did, but
Yeah.
you have to because what is it? You got to cook them live too.
Yeah.
And the dead ones, poor souls got to chunk them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, them boys, man, we cooked them up and we had, man, we had so many people that came back after that and were like, hey, y'all gonna cook blue crab at the restaurant? And I'm like, we're too far from the
Right.
coast.
They wouldn't be fresh.
fried.
We're too, yeah, we're too
They
far
gave-
from the coast.
Once they die, like, it's not like if a dead crawfish flows through. Like, you may have one or
Right,
two,
right.
but crab, like the bacteria on those things,
Yeah.
they grow so fast.
Okay.
Like, you have to cook them live.
Okay.
If they're dead or look like they might be dead,
Yeah.
throw them out.
My brother got cooked by one in his thumb, and for like 6 weeks after.
Oh, he went in the emergency room 3 different times.
3 different
And
times.
all 3
Yeah.
times they had him sleeve for surgery to take his finger.
Yeah, because they said they didn't all like like I said we're in North Louisiana, and so they didn't know what crab poisoning is.
Right. They're not
And
acclimated to that.
Yeah, they're not acclimated to that. Like, and so they're like they thought it was like copperhead. Like they're like he got
Get
bit
some
by.
anti-venom or something.
Yeah, man. Like he got
They
bit
probably
by.
would have died from it. They would have
Yeah.
said, "Hey, he had the COVID."
Yeah.
Inflict the numbers.
Right now they probably would have been like that. Yeah, I did see something today that there was a guy that got ate by a shark in Florida and he had the COVID-19. So they
Really?
They tested.
Well, look.
no.
So I always give my guests some gifts. Okay. Peanut, you've been getting shots of Fireball. I bought the bottle for you.
Yeah, that was a commemorative bottle of Fireball.
So-
and
so Bo-
cheers to my girlfriend that says I shouldn't be drinking Fireball.
Well, I apologize, girlfriend. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. He didn't tell me until after, so I'm sorry. Now, Bo don't drink anymore. He's had enough for all of us.
One of them's got to stay sober.
Yeah.
That's how you run a business. You got
That's how you run a business. Hey, you know what we call if we were to have a podcast, it'd be called Coffee and Cold Beer.
There you go.
Because he drinks coffee, I drink cold beer.
There you
We
go.
just sit around
There you
and
go.
bullshit.
Well, see, I listen because I got Bo, the world's strongest coffee. I don't know if you've had it yet or not.
Say
This is
Texas
Death
Street.
Wish coffee.
Hey Reggie,
And we're gonna have to brew them up some, but this is the world's strongest coffee. So if you can handle a cup of that, then I know you're a coffee drinker.
I'll drink all day.
He said, all right.
Man, like Peanut and I had an idea.
it says
for-
world's strongest
for
coffee.
a little while. We wanted to open a coffee shop.
Yeah.
But it was going to be like the opposite of Starbucks.
Right.
And like super conservative.
Yeah.
We're going to call it 45 caliber coffee. And it's for the 45th president of the United States.
Okay.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And then we were getting as far as talking about adding a gun range to our coffee shop. all
Yeah,
kinds of stuff.
yeah.
And then come to find out, I get online, I Google it, they already got 45
Take it.
caliber coffee. And it's a multi-million-dollar company.
See?
Obviously.
You're pushing the right way. Now you need to do like something weird, like 45-7.
Yeah.
So unique
No,
caliber.
I've had some of that Black Rifle coffee.
I've seen it, but I haven't had it. But I have Caveman Coffee's a cool company. I don't know if you've seen them. Check them out. I've got some of their beans fresh and then grinded them and roasted them. It's good stuff.
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, guys, honestly, I'm just glad to be in here today. We got a few minutes left.
We
Is there
went
anything?
for a full hour.
Yeah, man, we're over an hour at this point. Is there
We've
anything?
been going like 2 or 3 hours a day on Facebook.
Y'all are used to it now.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we can go one at a time? Whichever one will start first. That you have to any advice, anything, and this could be generalized information because a lot of our listeners are not going to be, hyper to actual restaurant. But any advice you got to anybody during these times? Who wants to start off?
I'll take it, and this comes from just general reality. Like
Yeah.
this is you got people that are retired. You've got people that are us, like we're working every day.
Yeah.
If you feel like it's against your thing to go out, please don't go out.
Right.
You
You don't
know,
have to go out, don't go out.
if you don't have to go out, don't go out. I mean, here's my mom lives on a lake over in Texas. Her and my dad are retired, and they are they're just man they're in that age of they said that COVID-19 hits this age
Right.
more than not.
Right.
And they're not going out, and they're sticking to it, and I mean I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah.
So the people that are out there can stay at the house. Let some of the people like us deliver you food. If you pay for it online or pay for it over the phone, we'll deliver it and drop it off at your house without ever having to meet you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is the deal. You can pay for it. We put it on the doorstep.
Yeah.
Ring the doorbell or whatever, and it's, I think that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
And I hate it for the community, but because we also have that side of people that are in that big of fear, man. I was.
Oh, no, of course. I mean, there's a lot of people that are, the older and the people that have any kind of health issues,
Yes.
they don't need to be around anyone.
Yes,
I mean, that's
it's
what it boils
the
down
health,
to.
it's the prior health issue
Right,
thing
right.
that is what's really tripping it up.
Yeah.
Because it's not the immediate, like you don't have to have something where you're like, oh man, I just got a cough.
No.
Yeah, you might have just got a cough
Right.
because you're coughing
Yeah,
because
the allergies, pollen,
allergies. It's pollen season, and I hate that. But I think that's my advice, man. Is if you feel like you need to stay at home,
Yeah.
please stay at home. Let us bring you some food.
Yeah.
Call, Kroger's doing a thing.
Wait for it.
Albertson's doing a thing.
Yeah.
You can just call your groceries in, and you can just literally pick them up right there.
Yep.
Everybody's doing things that we don't have to. You don't have to have any social contact with anybody.
Right.
I mean, just because us are sitting here,
Well, I've got two things that kind of piggyback that. a little bit.
That's my big thing.
So my advice is more about what happens after all this. I think right now,
I love it.
Right now is the time that I think everybody needs to be making the commitment based on what they've just said. But we need to get back to buying American made.
Yeah.
And we'll see the manufacturing go there. But then you also need to get behind local business.
Yeah.
So keeping dollars right here, moving medicine back to being created here in America. If we don't support all that stuff, we farm all this out, and then
In New York.
this won't be the last pandemic. Hopefully, it's the last one we see in our lifetime.
Right.
But at some point, you're gonna see something else like this.
Yeah.
And if we were in the position where we kept all that here in America, the way it was
Right.
30, 40 years ago, man, we closed the borders off. We're isolated from this, and our country continues to thrive, and we're not stuck in this
Right.
position. So, I mean, if anything, I think now's the time to make the commitment to buying American-made product, shopping local, and then being nice to one another and take a healthcare worker. I mean, those are things that are to all this like killing our country.
Yeah.
Because like kind of what you started with. It's a weird time, but
It is.
the country's coming back together.
It is. It's interesting because, like, right now, more than ever, I'm in the business of marketing on social media and online, and I feel a warm, fuzzy feeling every day now. Where 6 months ago, I dreaded looking on feeds because I'm constantly proofing posts for different businesses we're managing, and I see negative, and now I feel like it's flipped the script. It used to be 20% positive, 80% negative. Now I feel like it's 80% positive, 20%, because people, they sit back and they, right now more than ever, you have the time to realize, okay, you may be at home with your kids and it may be stressful, but guess what? In 20 years, that opportunity wasn't there anymore. You could say you developed a relationship at that time, or what have you. It could be different scenarios.
You're talking about that,
Yeah.
and so what I see negative on Facebook now is I feel like it's directed at the people that are having to stay home.
I agree.
They're lashing out a little bit at the people who can't stay home.
Right.
And so that would be my encouragement.
I see that.
Is that you
Yeah.
try to be a little empathetic.
Yeah.
Because some of us don't have the ability to,
Right.
or have an essential job, and when you see them out in public, like, you don't know their circumstances,
Right.
And so please don't attack them online. I've seen a lot of that.
Don't cast a stone, because here's the deal. If everything were to shut down and everyone went home, we literally wouldn't have a country to open our eyes back up to.
We would all starve to death if
We
every
would.
trucker went home.
Exactly. You have to realize that we have our police officers that are still on the streets. We have our medical workers that are taking care of the sick. We have our restaurant owners that are feeding the people who are working that don't have time to cook, the people who don't know how to cook, or servicing our, our neighborhood for the people that are less fortunate and don't have the means to eat. And then you have the people that are keeping these businesses alive, the bankers. No one's talking about those. The people working at banks and working the drive-thrus. The lobbies aren't open anymore, but there's still a lot of businesses that are operating.
So I would say if we were on the food truck,
Yeah.
like Peanut and I may look at this situation and say, hey man, it's not worth the risk to go out there. But I look at it now, and now I've got 100 employees between here, and it's my responsibility. I think it personally it's my responsibility to make sure that they're okay.
Yeah.
So if I've got to make a decision, do I risk coming to work and possibly getting sick, or do I take care of my responsibilities to all these other people? You got to put them first, in my course. Yeah, there's a chance, but hey, also we're young, and but you never know.
No, you don't.
But you can die of a million and one ways.
Yep.
God comes up with every way to take you when He's ready. So just be prepared and know where you're going to go,
Yep.
and be right with Him all the time. And you don't have to worry about all this. It's you want to do what you can to limit the spread because you're affecting other people.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
but I affect 100 people every day. If I don't come to work, there's not a place for them to come back to. That I'm affecting them. So it's as an owner, you're stuck between like a rock and a hard place. There. For us, we're just gonna come to work, serve some food, get it to the people that need it.
You guys have served thousands of people at this point. That's one reason why I wanted to come in here and talk. Another reason is just because I've always seen your empathy, man. I've always seen you guys are like, I've known y'all for probably a year and a half, 2 years maybe, and y'all it's been like y'all my brothers. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that for a lot of people, and I love it. But the thing is that speaks volume, and people remember that in times of tribulation, and then moving forward into where everything's in progression and everything's doing great. So
we always
Which it's gonna be real soon.
yeah, it's gonna the door's gonna rush open, man.
we've always taken pride in is Bo Jackson's family.
Yeah.
People first.
It's people first. There's never going to be a time that you walk through our doors and feel like it's you're an outcast or outsourced.
Yeah.
Like, I mean we're that place that people come and they come and they have a good time, and some of them have a little too good a time. But I mean,
I just saw a love pop up. Somebody had too good of a time.
because we what we do we treat everybody the same, and we're gonna make sure that if you do have too good a time, we're the ones between me and him and our great staff that are gonna take care of him.
Yep.
Hey, I know I've had too many hurricanes.
Yep.
I've had too many hurricanes. We're gonna be like, hey, man, you done had too
Yeah.
Really fund you right.
Every decision you make through business, like they seem like little decisions at the time, but if you're not applying your moral principles to that, or like the principles of who you are as a person,
Yeah.
to that, eventually it's gonna catch up to you. Like I think about like when we had zero money on a food truck, and then we would set up downtown Shreveport. If you've never been here, like, there's a lot of homeless people in downtown Shreveport.
Yep.
And so here we are making no money. We're set up in an area where there's a lot of homeless people, and they're coming up to the truck and they're like, "Hey man, will you feed me?" Do you want to do that? You can say yes or you can say no. And we just have kind of developed ourselves into those people.
Oh, it's right here.
We say yes because that's the. If you're trying to do the right thing, man, it's gonna pay off tenfold.
Yeah.
It's hard to do sometimes. Sometimes you think you can't do it.
I think the worst thing, and especially when you start getting to where you're actually making money and being efficient and run a successful business, you lose that selfless mentality.
Man, it always
You can't
hurts.
ever lose that, man. Because when you lose that, what do you have left?
No, we always make ourselves
Right.
the last thing.
Right.
Like you eat last, but I think of it like raising my kids.
Yeah.
So like I've got 2 kids and my wife in the house, and so hey, I go out, I make money, put the groceries at the house.
Yeah.
My wife cooks them. Comes dinner time. Here we go. My kids are going to eat first. They're going to take the smallest portion.
Yeah.
And my wife's going to eat. And I'm always the last to eat. And I've never had to say a word, but I always get the biggest piece.
Right.
Like, and I feel like when you lead a business the same way.
Of course, it's the same thing.
It
It
works.
is. You put if you every post you make, everything you do, if you think about someone else before yourself, it's always going to come back. And I've noticed that because I was in the industry, and so were you. You were in oil and gas for a long time. And when you make the shift to actually doing something, putting your hands on, and you're not in that corporate structure anymore, you get a lot more feel of the give and take in the relationship-based business. Before we stop today, I want to get you staff on here, man. They're great, and everybody. Brian, Justin, the ladies. Let's get them on here and give them a shout out real quick. Close this thing out.
Brian, Brittany, Justin, Reese.
Brian, our
You want just line them up right there in front of the bar, and we'll just turn the camera.
turn it. I mean, we can turn it around just like
There you
that.
go.
That's
Y'all stand right there. There you go.
Want me to do it?
He's
y'all
gonna
shout out, man.
turn the camera.
So shout out to all these guys. They make this thing happen. We got Brian.
Mostly me.
You can shout them out, Bo, if you want to.
No, look, this is the hardest working staff in Shreveport Bossier, and this group right here, man, they come in, they work for nothing right now, but they're dedicated to kind of what we've all been chasing in terms of what we're going to grow this thing into.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're the heart and soul of everything we do every day.
Get in this lineup, bro.
Brittany's the one that came up with the hospital pack idea.
Okay.
That's going so well. I mean, just everybody is such like a utility player.
Yeah.
The one newbie up here is Reese. Right? Reese, raise your hand. Reese was a host for us here at Bojack.
He just started.
And he hasn't been with us very long. 17 years old, and we were talking about work ethic earlier about how the new generation doesn't have it. Well, this kid does. We've been shut down. We didn't know how we were going to be able to pay him, and this dude has been here 12 hours every single day since the shutdown. And unless he's got to go help his dad with the lawn business.
There you go.
But then he comes in here not knowing what he's going to get paid, not knowing what kind of money he's going to make. He'll go run some deliveries for us. But the dude is learning every position here. I mean, he's worked in the kitchen. He's working on the crawfish trailer with me now. So yeah, the work ethic part of that definitely still alive.
Yeah.
It's at least here it is.
Yeah.
And we've been lucky to have staff like this. And there's a big staff here. These are the guys that are doing it day in, day out to make sure that everybody else on our staff has a place to come back to, and that's extremely selfless.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you guys. And we got one more that just showed up over here.
Oh, Gino.
Gino.
Now that's the coon ass right
So
there.
this is the registered coon ass right here.
Hey, that's right.
So Gino is a partner at Frozen Hero, and y'all get over here, man, so we can close this thing out. Oh shit. But basically, 2 doors down, we have another restaurant, Frozen P-Roll. You guys are shut down right now, but you do a little more hands-on, authentic Cajun cuisine. What do you want to say to everyone that you know that's your regular crowd that may not be in Bojack's or maybe in Frozen P-Roll? I know they're missing the spot, man. What you got to say to them?
I just know, like, I'm from South Louisiana, from Grand Isle, and I strive on oysters, and we started this, in the back alley and all that with the conversation. And Bo and Peanut and Doug and all, we was all back there. I know oysters here in this town are great. Our oysters are great. I put that restaurant, Magazine Street in New Orleans, and maybe we can shut down because the recipe is right. This guy right here, this guy right here. And the oysters are shucked fresh daily. They don't come out of a bucket like other people do in certain areas. Ours are shucked fresh daily, and I love oysters. I love working with these guys. Love this guy as well. We're just happy to be here. We know we're gonna kick ass when we come back, and we're coming back. I hope y'all come see us.
No, yeah, it is full throttle. There is no question. We've already crunched the numbers and everything. Frozen P-Roll is not in trouble. It's just it's in one of those states where it needs to be on pause.
Yeah.
And we're still connecting you to the East Bank through Bojack's, but when this lifts, the entire East Bank is open back up, and it's going to be the biggest, baddest party. You've probably seen it in Northwest Louisiana.
For all those you guys that are outside of Louisiana,
yeah, you need to book a room at the Horseshoe Casino.
y'all might want to book a room down here because we're going to throw. It's gonna be a kick ass.
Good time.
Y'all think Mardi Gras is a good time? Wait till y'all see our throwback the world party.
We're planning to restart the world party. We've already gotten our sponsorship for it. It's so we're raising money for that too. We're getting ready to open this up with a ton of live music. We're in an open container district. There's 19,000 hotel rooms within half a mile of us.
Yeah, within half a mile.
We're right on I-20. So if you're looking for something to do when all this comes back, if you can't go to like a big arena yet, but the moment we get to where we
the arenas are going to be on hold for a bit.
yeah. So we're gonna be pushing the limit.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something big, a little more spread out here. But when you're ready to get out of the house, you're ready to take like a little vacation. Motor City, Louisiana, gonna throw down.
That's a good time.
East Bank Mafia, right here. Y'all come see us, Motor City, Louisiana.
Appreciate you, boy.
Bojack's Frozen P-Roll,
Appreciate you, boy.
I thank y'all for coming on, man.
DJ will be here.
Yeah, I'm always here.
Oh, you
We got, and I feel like
Shots on the
we're at our
30.
finals.
Oh man, we got one more shot over here.
He's gotta go, so I have to have a
Hey, man.
Cheers.
Here we go.
Thank you, boy.
All right, guys. Thank y'all again, and everyone, please subscribe to the podcast.
Hey,